Hello and welcome to the 116th episode of the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as Sock Bunny, and I am recording in sunny, beautiful, warm, fabulous Florida. I am back home, and you might have noticed it's been a couple of weeks since I podcasted. The last time you saw me, I was in Washington, D.C., and I meant to mention it then, but I forgot. I am going to go to an every other week recording format until at least the end of the year, and then I'll decide if I want to continue it or if I want to go back to doing weekly. And I'm just doing it as an experiment to see how things go. And so I'll be doing it every other week. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for joining us. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and putting up with this craziness. Today is Sunday, November 10th, 2013. You can find me as Sock Bunny pretty much everywhere, like Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, Twitter, iTunes, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. And the blog is at sockbunnyknitandfit.blogspot.com. The email address is sockbunnyknitandfit@gmail.com. The Etsy shop is sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. And the Facebook, you can find me as Sock Bunny Studios. So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about, first, I have some announcements, a big one included. Finished objects, works in progress, fitness, tips and tricks, favorite things, knit and crochet alongs and events, the Bee Leaf Half Pine Knit Along, charity, a book review, and what's going on with the Etsy shop. So let's talk about announcements first. Announcements. The Cascadia ebook giveaway is still going strong. You have until November 15th. Just go to the Ravelry group, find the right thread. You need to tell me which pattern you like best or what you would like to knit out of that book. You do have to be a member of the Sock Bunny group to enter the contest. And I'll draw the winner the next podcast, which will be my next podcast, because it'll be the next podcast after the 15th. I do have some sort of sad news from Allison at Texas Yarn. If you might remember, a few months ago, she had a sock pattern that she did as a fundraiser for the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network, and it's called A Little Help from My Friends Socks. And she had done it because her friend Betty had terminal bladder cancer, and sadly, on Halloween Day, October 31st, Betty did pass away at 12:46, and she fought hard against her bladder cancer up until the end, but lost her battle just over 6 months after the cancer was diagnosed. So Betty says that she's going to increase the amount of the donation from $250 to $350, which is approximately 75% of the net profit for each pattern sold from now until July 7th, which is Betty's birthday. So, Allison, I'm really sorry for your loss. And everybody hop on over there and check out the pattern, A Little Help for My Friends Socks. And let's see. Oh, really good news. My daughter Sarah, we found out, is going to be able to come home for Thanksgiving. This is the first time in 4 years that she's gotten to come home. So we're super excited about that. She'll be coming home the Tuesday night before Thanksgiving, which is in what? Less than 3 weeks now? Let's see. What else? Okay. This is the really big news. Now, I have been thinking about this for at least a year, and people have been asking me for quite a while if I was going to do this. And somebody actually, Lisa, even just mentioned a few days ago that she wished I would do this. So I really have been thinking and praying about it a lot. And then Friday, I went to Busch Gardens for the day just to walk around. I think it was Friday that I was there. And I thought about it pretty much like the whole time I was there. And I have decided, have you guessed? I am going to host a Sock Bunny retreat in Florida. The tentative date is going to be the second weekend in February, which is the weekend of February 8th. I don't have a confirmation on the location yet, so I can't tell you that, but I expect to know that in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to keep the cost as low as possible, and it's going to be a very small, intimate thing. It's not going to be a gigantic extravaganza. It's just going to be a very small, intimate get together. So I will let you guys know more about that on the podcast, but also I will be announcing it on Plurk and on Instagram, on the blog, and on Facebook. So once I know for sure the dates and times, I will let you guys know. But keep in mind that if you want to come to Florida in February, which would be a nice time to get away from the snow and all that stuff up north, or if you are local, of course, I would love to have you come. So, um, if you want to donate a door prize or any other kind of prize, it could even be a pattern. Like if you wanted to give a gift certificate for one of your patterns to be given away at the retreat, that would be fun. It could be stitch markers, bags, you know what people like. It doesn't even have to be knitting related. It could be something else, like if you have candles or any other kind of thing and you want to promote your Etsy shop, just let me know. And also, if you want to vend, I am considering having a vendor's market if other people are interested. I don't want to have a vendor market and have it just be me. That would just be weird. So I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't come up with a name other than Sock Bunny Retreat, so we'll have to see. And of course, John will be there, and there'll probably be a really long line for autographs. So just mentally prepare yourself for that. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. I've got a few things in the works, and I will let you guys know as soon as I know. Let's actually get into the knitting portion of the show. Yay! I actually have finished quite a few things, but they're all pretty small. Well, not all pretty small. Let's just say I've finished a few things. It's been 2 weeks that I've been home, so I've had plenty of time to do some knitting. I still am not caught up on everything. I haven't finished opening my mail. I have Ravelry messages I'm behind on, so just be patient with me. Okay, so the first thing I finished is the scarf that I made for Rachel. This is, what in the world? This is the autumn wrap, and it is in the book, which I will find, Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. It's the only crochet pattern in the entire book. But look how pretty it is. This is opal yarn in the Harry Potter Tonks colorway. How's that look? In the Harry Potter Tonks colorway, and she loves it, of course. She's been driving me crazy for it, so let me show it to you here. This is the book that it's in. Sock Yarn One Skein Orders. This is the third one that I've made of this, and I've given them all away. I need to make one for myself. So there, that's what it looks like. And I love it, and Rachel loves it, and that's the important thing. So let me put this back here. So yay, finished the autumn wrap. That is crocheted. It's got flowers, crocheted flowers. So now I can give that to her. That's been a long time coming. And I finished, a couple of years ago I had crocheted this hat. This is a red, whoops. This is from Vicki Howell. She has a yarn line called Sheepish. I can't even put a hat on. That's really sad. Okay, so here's the hat. And I had crocheted a couple of years ago. And I wanted to make a cowl that goes with it. Oh my gosh, seriously, I can't even wear a hat today. So I just made up, and I think I had shown this once before. I just basically I cast on, I think, like 100 on a rather large needle. And I purposefully twisted the yarn. You know how when they say knit in the round, but don't twist your yarn? I purposefully twisted. I like it. So I do, I have more yarn, and I want to make a pair of matching mittens, or at least fingerless mitts to go with it. So, la la. But since it is hot here, I do not need this. And I just made that up. I haven't even created the Ravelry pattern page for it. Finished object page, whatever. Project page, that's it. But when I do, I'll just put notes of what I did. It's not like you need an actual pattern for it. So, so that is that. And then I've been busy making tiny advent socks. Now, if you're a viewer that's been watching for a while, I wanted to make little socks to use as an advent calendar. And I got these really cute little tiny clothespins. I got these at Walmart, actually, in the office supply section of all places. And I'll show you the ones that I had done before I show you the new ones that I have finished. I had made some adorable little socks, And I just made up the pattern. The recipe is on my project page if you're interested in making these yourself. So I have made a bunch of these little tiny, 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 aren't they adorable? Tiny socks, leftovers from some socks that I've made in various other sources. So these are all the ones I had prior done, and I had started these earlier in the year, and then I sort of got bored and put them away, and other things took my attention. So these are all the ones that you've seen so far. So that is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had done 7. Well, I've done 5 more since I've been home from my trip. And in no particular order, these are numbers 8 through 12. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in the Jelly Bean colorway, which you know I did some socks recently out of these. I really like the self-striping yarn for these. And this is also Desert Vista Dye Works. This is from my Star Trek socks from Fire and Dye Works. I made them long and then I rolled down the cuff. Aren't they adorable? Oh my gosh, I love these so much. This might be my favorite. Look how cute. And this one is the opal yarn that I made Rachel's scarf out of. I made this out of some of that leftover. And then this is some, I think this is Deborah Norville Serenity yarn, I'm pretty sure is what this one is. And then the next one, which I have just cast on, is also some Deborah Norville Serenity sock yarn, and I got like 2 rows done. So that'll be the next one. So I've done 12. Advent starts here. I don't know about other places because I think different churches celebrate it a little bit differently, but I know for our church, Advent starts December 1st. So I have to do 12 more between December 1st. I might have to use some socks twice. It's not the end of the world if I don't finish it. It's for me. So, and it's something I can use over and over every year, so it's not that big of a deal. I would really like to get 12 more done, but I don't know. It's like if I want to work on anything else, I can either work on these or other things. So anyway, so those are my tiny Advent socks. And again, the recipe that I used is on my project page. And did I mention I'm not wearing makeup today? Yeah, I know, right? I'm in a weird kind of mood. I also made a grandmother's favorite dishcloth just because one day I just wanted to work on a dishcloth. So there you go. Yay, really exciting. I like to make these and stockpile them, and then like if I go and go somewhere and need like a gift to give the hostess or something, I like to pull out a bunch of them and give them to them. So let's see. So that is, oh, and one more thing I finished. I started this when I was in Rhode Island visiting Sarah. I finished her bobble hat. Sort of hard to tell in this light, but there are baubles on there. You can see like right here. There's 3 rows of baubles on there. This is Cascade Cascade Eco Plus. I don't remember. Cascade Eco something. But this is, she wanted a gray hat with baubles. And I still have a lot left, so I'm going to give the leftovers to her, and she can make herself like a little scarf or whatever else she wants. I like it. Matches my hair. Okay, nice and warm. It's got baby alpaca in it, so it's very, very soft. Okay. Those are, I believe, all of finished objects. Let me read the list to be sure. Yes. Okay. I am working on a sock head hat, and this is a free pattern online, and it's very, very easy and generic. It's basically brainless knitting like a vanilla sock would be, but you're making a hat out of sock yarn instead of socks out of a sock yarn. And this is Marathon Socks, Seattle, in this purplish bluish colorway. I think I might have gotten this at Tuesday morning, maybe. I could be wrong. And in all of my project bags now, I do have my business card with my cell phone number on there. in case the bag gets lost. And without further ado, here is the sockhead hat. It's a free pattern, so I can tell you that you do ribbing for 4 inches, and then you knit up a whole bunch more inches, and then you decrease and then bind off. So it's very simple, brainless, very good travel knitting. I worked on this on the train. Oh, I forgot to mention, on the trip home from when I was up in New England, the day that I was leaving, I had lunch in Lorton, Virginia with Nicole, who is Max Nick, and she is funny. I was laughing so hard. We were cracking up. So, Nicole, you are a hoot, and it was a very, very big pleasure to get to meet you. And my train ride home was uneventful and blah, blah, blah. I made it home safely. So, yeah, that was really awesome. So, thank you, Nicole, for meeting with me. So, I worked on that on the train. Let's see. Oh, my Sedona. I've been wearing my first Sedona, the purple one, so much. I wore it yesterday actually. I love that thing. It's so perfect for Florida because it's short sleeves. So if you don't know what the Sedona is, if you're a newer viewer, it's a very bad printout. I printed it on draft, so but it's a sleeveless cardigan. I will show you. I might be in the middle of a row. Yes, I am, but that's okay because actually I could sort of show you. The change I made is I doubled the length of the collar, and I still need to go back and fix the collar on the first one, or lengthen it, extend it. So here is how far I am, and where you see that blue stitch marker, that is where I was the last time you saw it. This is my own hand-dyed yarn in the This Is My Jam colorway. Here's the back. And the color is a little bit deeper than what you're seeing on the podcast. There you go. I love it. This is a very simple knit. Definitely something a beginner sweater knitter could do. And I very much enjoy it. And I would not mind making 10 of these because I wear it so often. So that is my sweater. And then lastly, my bee leaf half pie shawl. I made the executive decision that I'm almost done. I still have quite a bit of yarn left, but I'm done. As far as the knit along goes, I got to row 155. I finished row 155, and then I'm doing the 5 rows that you do before the bind off. So I started the first of the 5 rows before the bind off. If you're knitting the pattern, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, it doesn't matter. So I am almost done. The rows have 646, let me see, 646 stitches each. Yeah, 646, which, as I mentioned the last time I knit something like this, you need to, if you're getting frustrated with how long it's taking you to do a row, just remember to psych yourself out or whatever, that's the equivalent of 10 rows on a sock. So don't beat yourself up that you can't knit a row in 5 minutes. You know, 10 rows on a sock would not take 5 minutes. So here we go. This is a big pile of mess, but you can see it is almost done. Each row has taken me approximately half an hour to knit. Pretty much all the progress I've made has been since I got home. I barely worked on it, maybe 1 or 2 rows total while I was on my trip. So I am very happy, and of course I love the color. This is my own colorway. Whoa, that's pretty. I love it. So I'll be happy when this is off the needles. Probably, well, definitely the next time I see you, it should be off the needles. So, and I have that in my Star Trek bag. Oh, and I'm wearing my Rhinebeck New York Sheep and Wool t-shirt. There you go. Yay! It's very comfortable. Let's see. I think that is it for finished objects and works in progress. Okay, let's talk about fitness. Each month in the Sock Bunny group, we have a fitness along, and any day that you work out at least 30 consecutive minutes, you can post your workout. And each month I draw a winner. Just go to the Sock Bunny Ravelry group. All the rules are there. And we also have a poster along every month. I have made the executive decision that December is going to be the last month that we do the poster along. It's really a lot for me to be doing 2 giveaways every month. So I'm going to just run the poster along through December. So we have 1 more month. All the rules for the poster along are in the Ravelry group also. I did want to show you my poster. I finally earned my Duck Dynasty t-shirt. This is not going as quickly as I wanted it to. But you can see that every 300,000 steps, I earn a prize. So the first prize I got was a Batman shirt. And then I got a bicycle bag that I bought from Just Dodd, from her multi-craftual shop. And then I got the Quack Pack t-shirt, which is the Duck Dynasty t-shirt. So the next prize comes at 1,200,000 steps. We will get there slowly but surely. It's happening one day at a time. And the poster is very motivating because there are some days when I'm like, I don't want to go for a walk. But then I'm like, I'm never going to earn my yarn. Whiny. Because all the yarn that I bought at Rhinebeck, I have to earn with my steps. So if I don't walk, I can't knit. Right. Okay. Also, as far as fitness goes, the Couch to 5K program, I am on week 3. I finally picked it back up when I got back from my trip. This past Thursday, I worked out with a personal trainer. Our YMCA, I don't know if all of them do it, but at our YMCA, when you sign up, you get 4 sessions with a fitness coach. And I just never did it. I've been going there for over a year. So I finally signed up for that. So Thursday, I signed up with the personal trainer, and he gave me a fitness test. I actually did better on some sections than I thought I would do, but I did worse on other sections than I thought I would do. So there are definitely some areas that I can use some work on. So I have 3 more sessions with him. We're going to meet probably like once a week. I don't think I need to meet more than that. So next week when I meet with him, he said we would do upper body, and then the following week we would do lower body, and then the following week after that we would do a total body workout. So we'll see. I'm still a little bit sore, and today's Sunday, and that was Thursday. So yeah. Oh, and I also want to mention Becca, who is Queen Ribbit. She told me about a walking program from the Mayo Clinic, and you can go to mayoclinic.com and find this. It's called Get Walking with this 12-week walking schedule by Mayo Clinic staff, and I'll just read you what it says. It's really good for people that are either recovering from an injury or are overweight and having trouble walking, different things like that. People that are not quite up to walking any long distance yet, way to build up to it. So it says, are you looking to ease into getting into shape? This 12-week walking schedule from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute can start you on the path to better health. But before you start walking this plan, talk with your doctor if you've been sedentary for a long time or if you have serious health issues. Try to walk at least 5 times each week. Always start with a 5-minute slower paced walk to warm up and end with a 5-minute slower paced walk to cool down. Start at a pace that's comfortable for you, then gradually pick up speed until you're walking briskly, the equivalent of a 3.5 mile an hour. You should be breathing hard but still able to carry a conversation. Each week add 2 minutes to your walking time. And they actually have a little chart that you can follow that gives you suggested minutes for walking. So thank you, Becca, for telling us about that. And definitely check that out if it's something that you need. If you are in a place where you are having trouble, walking or working out, anything like that, talk to your doctor about this and see if it's something that works for you. I do have some prizes to give away with the fitness for the September poster along. I am way behind on that, right? So for the September poster along, which I will do the October poster along on the next podcast. Okay, so for the September poster along, we had 12 finishers. So they were Shalwood, who was Suzanne, Jess Dodd, who is Jessie, LMECOLL, who is Linda, Am I Yes I Am, who's Suzanne, Nitty Witty Shell, who's Michelle, Retro Lemon, who is Jenna, Amy Bernhardt, who is Amy, and she really inspires me on Instagram. Baby Boxer Mom, who is Carrie, Kara Clovenhoof, who is April, Happy K, who is Faith, Sock Mom 529, who is Lynn, and Allison Roseboom, who is Allison. I drew the winner ahead of time, and the winner is number 9, who is Clara Clovenhoof, who is April. Yay, April! So April, contact me because you won some stitch markers from Sunny Shop, who is Carrie. Let's see, I think I have her business card over here. She donated some stitch markers. sunnyshop.etsy.com. And also, if you want to go check her out, you get 20% off with the code SOCKBUNNY. So thank you, Carrie, for doing that. And then I did draw the winner for the October Fitness Along, which is where you post your workout every day. And that was we had 456 posts and 41 participants. So that was, the winner was somebody who posts all the time. And I know she's probably saying, when am I going to win? It is number 196, who is Marlisha, who is Lady Fernico. So congratulations! And you work out a lot, so I'm glad that you finally won. So contact me, and for the October Fitness Along, you can choose either something from my shop, or I will dye something for you in up to 3 colors. So let me know what you want. All right, yay! That's all for fitness for now. Tips and tricks. I'm so excited about this. All right, tips and tricks. This is something that I've been using for a little bit on, a few weeks on my Android phone. And then I heard that they also updated it so that it works on the iPhone. So this is for everybody who has a smartphone, Android or iPhone. It is called Google Now, and I love it. Well, I've actually become a fangirl of Google since I've had my Android phone, because Android is so integrated with Google and vice versa. So let me turn my phone off of mute so I can show this to you. Google Now, it's you can find it in the Android App Store, which is called Play, or you can find it in the iTunes iPhone store. So Google Now, I'm going to bring it up. And when you bring it up, it shows you, they have these things called cards. Let me see how I can get, there you go. It has these things called cards, and you can have different cards come up for different sports teams, stocks, weather, all different kinds of stuff. So you can see it is currently 81 degrees in Tampa. And that's really cool. I mean, even if you used it for nothing but the cards, it's great. You can also, though, do things with, let me turn it up here so you can hear it. I'm going to turn my screen brightness down a little bit too, see if that helps. Is that better? There we go. All right, so you can also talk to it. And if you'll notice up here in the little Google bar, pretty much anything that you could do in a regular Google search, you can do on here, but there's more. So I actually have a list prepared because I'm a geek. You already knew that though, right? Okay. So you can actually talk to it. Now these things you can do, like I said, a lot of them you could do in regular Google searches, but some of these things are really cool because you can actually talk to it and it will talk back to you. I'm going to take my phone out of the case to demonstrate this. It'll make it easier. All right, so there we go. And if you're wondering, I have a Samsung Galaxy S4 and I love it. I would like to marry my phone. Okay, so you can actually talk to it, and the way you bring it up is you say, "Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Remind me to get a bookshelf the next time I'm at IKEA." So what that does is it found the address for the nearest IKEA, and it's going to set up a reminder. Now the cool thing about this is it knows the address, and my phone knows where I am. So I'm going to go ahead and say set reminder, and what's going to happen is next time I go to IKEA, this is going to pop up, a card is going to pop up, and I'll get like a little sound on my phone, and it will say, don't forget to buy a bookshelf because you're at IKEA. I know! It works. I did it. I did it a few weeks ago. It's actually been 5 or 6 weeks I've been playing with this, um, and it actually. I said, next time I'm at Walmart, remind me to get whatever it was. And as soon as I pulled into the Walmart parking lot, that my phone notified me that this was the thing I needed to get. Pretty cool, huh? But that's not all. That's just one of the many things you could do. There's other types of reminders that you could set up. So you could say, okay, Google, remind me to take out the trash on Wednesday. And one of the things that it will let you do is it will let you modify it. Like, do I want this to be at a specific time? So I could change it from all day to morning, afternoon, or evening. I'll say morning. So it's going to tell me on Wednesday, November 13th in the morning to take out the trash. And you can also set a location for that or a specific time. So I'm, of course, not going to set that reminder because that's my husband's job. Um, Also, you could say stuff like, remind me at 1 o'clock to eat a snack or whatever. Anything you want it to remind you to do. Another thing it will do is you can make calls. Now, I'm not actually going to do this, but you can say call and then, of course, bring it up by saying, okay, Google. I don't want my phone to hear me. And then I could say like call home or call YMCA or whoever I want to call. Another thing you could do is you can send texts with it. So if I wanted to send a text to my daughter Rachel, I could say, okay, Google, text, hi, I love you to Rachel. Now I'm not going to show you the screen because it's going to show her actual phone number and you don't want that. So I'm going to hit send message and it actually sent that text to Rachel. I know. Navigation, you can also use it for. So you can get walking directions. Like if let's say, okay, I'll do this. Okay, Google, walking directions to the nearest park. Now this one was not perfect. It did bring up some different, like it brought up Busch Gardens. That is not the closest park. But it did bring up some other parks that are near here. So you can pick which one you want, and it will give you actual walking directions how to get there. You can also do bicycling directions and driving directions. Whatever your default is, like if you have never made any changes to it, your default will be driving. So you could say, I could say, another way to do it is to say navigate to. So I'm going to do this. Let me go back to it here. Okay, Google, navigate to IKEA.
Navigating to IKEA.
It's navigating to IKEA. And it's going to bring it up in just a moment. There we go. And now it's going to, it gives you the option of, at the very top, oops, it wants me to turn on my GPS, but it gives you the option to have either car, public transportation, walking, or bicycling. And then at the bottom, I would click start, and it would actually walk me through step by step how to get there. And that's done through Google Maps, which is also an app I use constantly. You can also just use this for regular Google stuff that you might Google. Like say, okay, it's 81 in Tampa right now, but I don't know what that is in Celsius, right? So I could say, okay, Google, what is 81 degrees Celsius? Oops, never mind. I messed up. Let me try it again. What is 81 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? Sometimes it talks, sometimes it doesn't. I haven't quite figured out what the trick is for that. So it is 27.2 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. You can also use it for other things like conversions. Let me bring it up again. Okay, Google, how many ounces are in a gallon?
1 US gallon is 128 US fluid ounces.
Sometimes I sit here and just ask it questions. I know. I know. Trust me, I know. Okay. You can also ask it weather questions. Okay, Google. Is it going to rain today?
No, rain is not expected today in Tampa. The forecast is 85 degrees and partly cloudy.
How cool is that? This is really good for people like me who I can type really fast on a keyboard. I mean, really fast, but I am this world's slowest texter. So this is really good for people like me. But I could also see this would be really good, like maybe you had a hand injury and you weren't able to use your hands for a while, or people that maybe have a disability of some sort or whatever. So I think it's really awesome. Also, Google has added a lot of nutrition information to the Google searches, so you can ask it questions like, okay, Google, how many calories are in a Coke?
182 calories in 1 cup medium fast food, 21 fluid ounces capacity. Weight of the drink only with no ice added.
What? How cool is that? Okay, Google, how many carbs are in a baked potato?
37 grams of total carbohydrate in 1 potato medium.
Whoa, that's a lot. Also, you can have it do math for you. This is something you could do on regular Google. If you just go Google, on your regular computer, you could do this also. Okay, Google, what is 123 times 456?
The answer is 56,088.
Love it. I never have to think again. Those are some things that you can do. You can also tell it to play music. And when you do that, it will actually, like say you said, play the Rolling Stones, and it'll bring up several options. Like, do you want to do it through YouTube? Do you want to do it through Google Play? Do you want to? I'm sure if you're on the iPhone, it asks if you want to do it on iTunes. Different things like that. You can tell it to play a movie. Like say you had a movie through Google Play or something like that. You can do it to schedule meetings. You just say schedule a meeting with blah blah blah. You can also do it to set alarms. So I could say. Set an alarm for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it would do it. So, oh, don't you love it? So, I have been wanting to talk about this for weeks, but since it was only on Android before, I didn't really want to do it and exclude a lot of people. But now that they have it on Android and on Apple, I had to do it. Now, I know Siri on Apple does a lot of these things. So, this is just another alternative. And it's really cool. And Google is always adding stuff. So I'm sure that they will keep adding even more and more features to this app. So I'm just in love with it. The reminders is really, really helpful. I was thinking that I should use it like, you know how you leave the room and you go into a different room and you're like, ah, crap, why am I here? So I should tell Google to remind me in 5 minutes why I'm in the living room. Because I can't remember. Okay, enough silliness, but I love this, love it so much. So that is my tip or trick for the week. Google Now. Google has some really amazing apps. You should go check them out in the App Store because they really have some amazing, amazing stuff. And I'll probably be talking about other ones coming up. So, all right. Wow, you can see my really geeky self coming out. I better turn my phone back off because as sure as I don't, my daughter will call me. Mute. All right. Okay, so that is tips and tricks. And don't forget on the in the Sock Bunny group, we do have a thread in the Ravelry group where you can list your favorite apps, and if you can, also put a brief summary of why you like that app. So that would be helpful. Favorite things. These are a couple of things that I didn't get a chance to show you when I was on my trip. I got them when I was at the Smithsonian. I got an Abraham Lincoln mug. And I love it. They had one that was sepia tones, but I really like this one because it was red, white, and blue. Very patriotic. And I also, being a nerd, had to get some American tea. So I got some Liberty tea bags. peppermint, spearmint, and lemon. And the tea's pretty good. It's decent. I thought it was a little bit weak, but I think maybe I just need to steep it longer. So I bought those together. And then also, the day that we went to a market when I was with Colleen in Washington, there was a stall that had postcards, and the postcards. This was actually it's of the Lincoln Memorial, but it's done on fabric, and then this is just a photograph of it. And this is Lincoln Memorial with Cherry Blossoms, original fabric artwork by Jamie Langhoff, and her website is seeinginfabric.etsy.com. And I haven't had a chance to check it out, but that might be something you might be interested in. Seeinginfabric.etsy.com. She had some really amazing things. So this one is going to be framed. I love it because I'm a Lincoln fan. So that is my favorite thing of the week, and the lighting is really going, so I apologize that the quality of the light has changed. The sun's going down. I bet I could Google and find out the exact time of the sunset. Okay, knit alongs, crochet alongs, and events. This Saturday, November 16th, A Good Yarn in Sarasota is having their anniversary party. I believe it's their 4th anniversary. I am planning on going unless my depression is too much. My depression and anxiety since I got home has really been horrible, especially the first week that I was home. It was really, really bad. I do want to go, but it's going to be dependent on hope. I hope I can go. But if I'm having a panic attack that day, then no. But if I do go, which I really, really want to, I am going to go to spin class Saturday morning, and then I will go. So I'll be over that way probably about lunchtime. If you do see me, ask me for a podcast button because I will have them. The first Saturday of every month, they have a spinning day, and I haven't had a chance to go yet, but I do want to try to go on the first Saturday of December to the spin-in that they're having. Another big announcement that I have is in January, February, and March, we are going to have a sweater along. And yes, I know a lot of podcasters have sweater alongs. That's okay. We can do it too. And you can all, of course, double dip. If you're knitting a sweater for another podcaster or another knit along or whatever, feel free. You will have to cast on January 1st or after. So you're not going to be able to finish an existing sweater for this one. Cast on January 1st. Finish it by March 31st. There's no reason why you cannot do this. If you are a beginner and you want a really, really easy one, remember my Sedona is very, very easy. Also, a lot of people say they cannot afford to buy a sweater's worth of yarn. I say, yes, you can. I talked about this in one of my very, 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 very early podcasts. I think it might have been like episode 4 or something like that. If you would like to knit a sweater, but you don't have the money, or if you just want to be thrifty, you can recycle a sweater. So what you do is you go to Goodwill or some other thrift store and you find a sweater that maybe has seen better days or is not the prettiest sweater in the world, and you recycle the yarn. There is a group on Ravelry, and I think it's called Unraveled or something like that, or Unravelers, I think is what it is. They have tips and tricks on how to do that. You can also Google how to unravel a sweater, and what you do is you reclaim the yarn. And I did that at the beginning, well, when I first started this podcast, and I haven't used the yarn. But so I was inspired this week because I was thinking about this too, because the yarn is all in balls. So one of the, because I think I have 3 or 4 sweaters worth that have been reclaimed. So this is one of the sweaters that is being reclaimed. I haven't counted the yardage yet, but I skeined it, and it still has a lot of the kink, but I know that'll be okay while I knit with it. But I have several skeins like this, and I did save, here it is. Here's what the yarn has been looking like for like 2 years. This is a sweater from Casual Corner. I saved the tag. It is 50% mohair, 50% acrylic. And I got all this yarn for $4. Now, yes, of course, you have to put some work into it to get the yarn, but now I have a sweater's worth of yarn that I can knit. Now, this yarn is a little bit scratchy. So I would probably knit like a vest or something, or something I would wear a t-shirt under, similar to my Sedona. Um, but some of the yarn I have is less scratchy and itchy. So that was a project I did this week so that I could talk about that. So you can afford to knit a sweater if you really want to. Also, I mean, if you go, it doesn't have to be fancy, especially if it's your first sweater and you're worried about it. Find a nice acrylic. It doesn't have to be expensive yarn to knit a sweater, and it doesn't have to be wool. It could be cotton, it could be acrylic, but pick a nice yarn. Just don't pick Red Heart and say, I'm going to knit a sweater out of it. No offense to Red Heart, but that stuff is plasticky. Get some really nice, they have Red Heart Softy. That would be nice. Lion Brand has many, many yarns. You can go to Michael's and Joann's. My first Sedona, I got that yarn on sale, and I paid only $16 total for the yarn I used for that. So you can be thrifty and knit a sweater. So we are going to be doing a sweater knit along, any sweater, adult size, January, February, and March. Cast on date is January 1st. So you can do it. Speaking of knit-alongs, the Bee Leaf Half Pine knit-along is almost coming to an end. We are having a knit-along for my pattern Bee Leaf Half Pie shawl. It started September 1st. It's going to end November 30th. You have until the 30th to finish it and block it and post pictures in the finished object thread. And I'm way behind on my Ravelry groups, so if you've posted anything in the last few days in the Ravelry chat thing, I haven't seen it, and I apologize. I'm going to try to catch up. So the shawl, let's see, you do not have to be a member of the group for this particular knit along. Most knit alongs you do, this one you do not. And also, if you knit it with Sock Bunny Studios yarn, you get to post it twice in 2 separate posts, so you have more chance of winning a prize. I haven't done the prize thread yet. I have got to do that this week. Ah! So I will do that this week. I will post the prize. I have the prizes. I just haven't posted them. So there are several prizes for this knit along. Charity, we also have a prize thread that I haven't posted for the charity knit along we have going on September, October, November. Hats, scarves, mittens. We're doing the drive for Pinellas Hope, which is a local homeless shelter, which is run by the Catholic Diocese of St. Petersburg. It can be any age, any gender, as long as it's washable yarn. Ask me for my address, and as long as I have it by November 30th, you will be in the drawing. I'll probably extend that a few days. So if it's like close to the end of November and you know it's coming to me, let me know, and I can be flexible. But definitely when I podcast for the first time in December, I will draw the winner. Let's see. Okay, now we're going to do a book review. And I know this book has been reviewed a few times, but I do have some different things to say about it than some other people might have said. If you're not going to stay with me for the book review, I totally understand. Don't forget we have a prayer request thread. You can even put your unspoken prayer requests in there. Don't forget to enter our fitness threads. Ask Sock Bunny or John John, which I need to get back to that. And also don't forget to list your favorite smartphone or tablet apps in the appropriate thread. So we're going to do a book review on the book Hitch from Cooperative Press, and you've probably seen other podcasters do that. That's okay. And I am going to have a giveaway for it, so check out the Ravelry group. There'll be a giveaway thread, and I will I'll close that thread on December 7th. So you have until December 7th to enter that particular contest. And again, it will be tell me what your favorite pattern is from this book. So I'm going to bring up the book. And I'm only going to show my 3 favorite patterns from the book. But I have some different things to say about them than I've heard anybody else say. So the book is Hitch. These are patterns. This is like a collaboration between a bunch of different knitters, pattern writers. And the book is put out by Cooperative Press, and they gave me this free copy to review. So they are patterns based on the movies by Alfred Hitchcock, who I love his movies. One of the things I liked about this book is that there's a theme with the colors that were used. All of the patterns are made with red, gray, and cream colors. And so it gives the book some unity and consistency, and I really like that. And I've noticed that Cooperative Press has done that with some of their other books, like Cascadia was the same way. They had like a color theme running through the book. I really, really like that. It gives the book um, more cohesion, makes it seem like more one unit instead of just a bunch of people threw in a bunch of patterns. So I really like that. And it shows planning and forethought. Um, so the first thing I want to show, like I said, I'm going to show you 3 patterns that I really like. And the first one, well, I liked a lot of them, but let's be realistic. I'm not going to make all of them, but this one I really, really want to make. This is called the 3-Second Kiss Sweater. And it's a Fair Isle sweater. And the thing I like about it is the neckline. It's not your typical neckline. There is going to be some steeking involved. And one of the things I like about this book is it tells you the required skills, and it also has pattern notes. So it does tell you that you're going to need these skills to do this. Knitting in the round, knitting with double pointed needles or magic loop, or knitting in the round on 2 circulars. Increases and decreases, short rows, stranded colorwork techniques, steeking, knit on edging, knowledge of basic sweater construction, Kitchener stitch, I-cord, and seaming. So those are the things that you either need to know already or will learn while you're doing this particular pattern. I really like that. Also, I like the pattern notes because they tell you exactly what is going on with this sweater. You don't have to read the pattern to know the construction of it. I love this. So it says, this pullover is worked completely in the round with turned hems and a steeked neckline. The sleeves and body are worked from the bottom up and joined at the yoke. The steek band is added at the same time. After the colorwork chart, a few short rows are added across the back. The neckline stitches are held live while the steek is worked. Attached I-cord edging trims the steek edges and binds off along the neckline for a single polished edge. So that's what you can expect. And also, of course, there's a schematic, which is really, 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 Kimberly. There's a schematic. No, really. As always, which I really appreciate. Oh, there we go. And another thing I really like, if you remember when I just read that description, they talked about there's a turned under hem, and here is what it's going to look like. It's got this beautiful use of contrasting color, which in this case is red, and you can see they've done that. So when you start knitting it, you start knitting with the red, and then you do a row of purl and start knitting with the gray, and it causes it to turn under, so you have this nice finished edge. I really love that. So that is one of the things I love. And again, that's called 3-Second Kiss Sweater, and it's knit in sport weight yarn. The next thing that I really like, I thought was genius. This one, I'm going to go, it's on page 66. I'm using the Amazon Kindle app for this, by the way. This is called the, how do you pronounce this? Exacta hat. Now, one of the things you might notice is there's some intricate cabling. The cool thing about this pattern is they give you 9 choices for what you want that cabling to look like. So if you look at the charts briefly, whoops, come back. If you look at the charts, you'll see at the bottom that's one of the charts. But if you keep moving, you can see, well, actually, you have 8. These are the things that are going to go. There are 8 things. These are the things that are going to go, your choices for that window portion of the pattern. And there's a, why do I keep doing that? User problem. Hold on. I need to stop touching things. So you can see that there's several panels where you can put different, so you can make them all different or you can make them all the same. And I thought that was genius. One hat, many, many, many options. I thought that was really, really smart, and I want to make this hat. Next is my last one I'm going to show you is called the Not Your Gal Friday sweater. And I love this. I definitely see this in a very, very near future for me. It's knit on sock yarn, fingering weight, using size 3 needles. And the thing I like the most about it is the neckline again. I like the shaping of it. It's very flattering, but I love that neckline. And I bet I would learn some things when I did it. So the pattern notes say this sweater is worked from the top down. It is worked flat to the end of the keyhole, then joined to work in the round to the sleeve divide. The sleeves are put on holders or waist yarn while the body is worked down to the hem. Then the sleeves are picked up and worked. When working flat in the keyhole section, the slip at the beginning of each row is worked with the yarn in front as if to purl. So it tells you what to expect before you even start. And of course, there is a schematic, and I love, love, love this, and I want to knit it in the colors that they showed it. And here's a close-up of the keyhole. I love that. Love it! You know I don't like gray, but I totally dig red and gray together. So those are just 3 of the many fantastic patterns in this. I really, really, really love this book. And I love Hitchcock movies. So go to the Ravelry group and check out the contest thread. Feel free also, if you want, tell me what your favorite Hitchcock movie is. And that is it for the book review. As far as shop updates go, I haven't done one in the last few weeks because I haven't been dying. Since I've been home, I've just been trying to catch up on things. This week, I will get back into the dyeing. Next week, there will be a shop update next Sunday, which is the 17th, and I will post that on Plurk and on Facebook and on Instagram. And I guess that's about it. We're wow, almost an hour. So remember, I'm gonna through the end of the year, I'll be podcasting every other week. So there will not be an episode next week, but the following week there will. And we'll see how that goes. And I'll keep you posted on what's going on with the Sock Bunny retreat. And thank you so much for watching and especially for putting up all the way to the end. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great week. Keep on crafting. Bye.